Hello and welcome to the first video which I've, I've made. I'm going to make a series of videos to help you with your assignments. These will be on Moodle, so if you the first port of call if you do get stuck is have a have a gander at these and see if it can help you. Then you need to come to me if you still need a bit of help. Now, I'm going to go over two questions from the work which I've done this week and which are in the assignment. Um, First question, let's get rid of that over there. Yep. First question, really typical Section A question. It says expand and find the coefficient of x cubed in the expansion 3 plus 2x to the power of 4. Now, 3 plus 2x to the power of 4 is 4 brackets multiplied together. We could, if we had a bit of a death wish, decide to multiply them out as normal, using the methods we learnt before half term. However, there is an easier way to do this, and it involves the binomial expansion. You should recognise this as a binomial expansion because binomial means literally means two numbers, and here we have a 3, one number, makes no difference to the colour whatsoever that, and a 2x, a little bit, is the other number. Two numbers, and I should actually be careful, I should actually highlight that as plus 2x. The sign is really important. Those of you negative number enthusiasts, I think that's the wrong word to say, those of you who suffer from the negative number curse, be careful here when that is a negative, but I'll talk about that later. Now it's an expansion because it's to the power of 4, okay? So once you recognise that this is a binomial expansion, it becomes quite easy because there's a set technique. You learn it and you practice it, and then for the exams, all they're going to do is have different numbers, different sets of two numbers there, and different powers as well. Let's get a different. Oh, did not mean to do that. Right. So how do we do this? Now the first thing is that we need to write down. Once you recognise it's binomial expansion, you need to write down Pascal's triangle. Okay, so it's really simply done. We start with the 1, and then start with the two ones there. In fact, there'll be ones all the way down each of the sides of the triangle. To work out the number there, we add up the two numbers above it. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and then there's another 1, and there's another 1. Okay, now 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. Tricky math this. Another 1 there, another 1 there. Now we want, here we've got to the power of 4. Okay, so we want to wait until if this is the 0th row, makes no sense whatsoever, the 0th, this is going to be the first row, this is going to be the second, I'd rather write in there, better actually, yep, this is going to be the third, so we need the 4th row because it's to the power of 4, okay, so we need one more, and it's going to be 1, 4, 6, 4, and 1, okay, just from adding up the numbers, 3 plus 3 is 6. You should notice it's symmetrical, okay, so if it isn't symmetrical down the middle, if you have no got it symmetrical, you have no got it right, okay, should be really simple this, it should take you a couple of seconds, if that, okay, we're on the right bit now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down these coefficients, and I'm going to write them with a bit of distance between them. Oh, beautiful. 6, 4, 1. I'm going to go off the page there, but never mind. Right. We start off the first number in the binomial expansion. We put it to the power of 4. And we make sure it's in front of the first number here, okay? So I'm going to put it in brackets because this can get a bit tricky. We want to make sure that we're not putting things to the power of which we shouldn't do. The power of 4. And we're also, because it's the first number here, it's the first number to the power of 4, and the second number in the binomial expansion to the power of 0. Okay, now, don't worry about too much about powers of 0, don't start panicking. Have powers of 0 are really easy to handle. We'll speak about them in a second. Okay, then I'm going to add. Okay. Right, 4 lots of. Now, it's going to be the first number, but not to the power of 4 this time, but it's going to be to the power of 3. Okay, so we take power down. And look at that, that's all lovely jubbly. The second number is going to be to the power of 1. Now notice, the powers always add up to 4. If they don't add up to 4, you've done it wrong.
What are you doing?
Steve, I'm doing a video.
Why are you doing a video for?
To help the students, that's the kind of guy I am. Sorry about that, that was my, oh, cranky, I've gone, well, there it is. There's the to the power of 1, we'll deal with that in a second. That was my housemate. Buggering things up. Right, 6 lots of, now it's going to be 3 squared. The first number, the powers go down. And now it's going to be 2x. This would have been so much easier on a whiteboard, but there we go. I think you're getting the gist of it. 2x to the power of 2 as well. Okay. Notice 3 and 1 is 4, 4 and 0 is 4, 2 and 2 is 4. Okay, these are all powers always have to add up to 2. Add. So small add sign there. Okay, now 3 to the power of 1. The powers of 3 go down. The powers of 2x go up. So this is going to be 2x to the 3. Sorry about these brackets, they're shocking, aren't they? Add, finally the last one, it's going to be 3 to the power of 0. And then 2x to the power of 4. Okay, cooking on gas, cooking on serious gas. Right, we need to simplify this now. It looks absolutely manic, especially with my dodgy handwriting. It's actually easier than you think. Okay, so 1 lot of 3 to the power of 4. So that's 3 times 3, which is 9. Times 3 again, 27. Times 3 again is 81. Times 2x to the power of 0. Now, anything to the power of 0 is 1. We could have a monkey to the power of 0, and it would equal 1. There he is. A monkey to the power of 0, and it would still equal 1. Okay? So that is still going to be equal to 1. So 1 lot of 81, so this is just 81. There's our constant number. Right. 3 lots of 3 is 27. Now we've got 27 times 4, which is going to be 108. Now it's 108, and we've also got this 2 to the power of 1. Do not forget that 2. That is a key, easy, silly mistake to make, which means you lose all the marks. So this is 108 times 2, which is 216. And it's x to the power of 1, so this is just the x term. Okay, we can get rid of that 1. We don't bother writing 1. Okay, so far we've got 81 plus 216x. Right, now this is where it starts getting a bit fiddly. 6 lots of 3 squared is 6 lots of 9. 6 lots of 9 is 54. Now we've got 54 multiplied by 2 squared. 4. So 54 times by 4 is going to be 216 as well. Now notice that it's the same number as the coefficient of x. Pure coincidence. Just pure coincidence, this. Now I've also got x squared there, so there we go. That'll be our job. Now 4 lots of 3, 12. 12 lots of 2 cubes. So 12 lots of 8 is 96. Okay. I hear the rugby on in the background. There we go. Right. 96x cubed. And finally, 1 lot of 3 to the power of 0. 3 to the power of 0 is 1. 1 times 1 times 2 to the power of 4. Okay, so that's 16. Okay, so let's just concentrate on the numbers first, and then put the algebra bit is easy. The x squared, x cubed, or whatever is easy. It's the numbers of which the coefficients is what makes it difficult. Now let's go back to the original question. It says find the coefficient. Might be these highlighters. Look at that boy. Coefficient of x cubed. Okay, now remember to answer the question. Okay, sounds obvious, but it's an easy mistake to make, not answering the question. X cubed, coefficient of x cubed is 96. Okay, so there's your answer. You'd write down, I'm not going to write coefficient because it'd be too difficult on this mouse, but you put 96 down as your answer. Circle it. If you really want to make the examiner know, draw a little arrow, and then just in case. Okay, so there's the answer, 96. Right, so that should cover you for the first few questions, or certainly, whoa, what's going on there? Undo. There we go. Whoa. That should cover you certainly for a lot of the questions, some of the questions in the assignment. Okay, so typical section A question. Move on again. Yeah, it's on that. Oh, there's a monkey. Solve the equation. This is the second one. Again, a section A jobby. Solve the equation x to the power of 4 minus 9x squared minus 22 is equal to 0. Now, so far, we've only really concentrated on solving quadratic equations, where it's a power of 2, cubic equations, where the highest power is a power of 3, and we did that by factorising. And then, once we'd found one of the factors, we could find the quadratic it multiplied by, and then it was just a case of multiplying quadratics. This is the power of 4, and it's intimidating. You see a power of 4, you're thinking, crikey, this is hardcore stuff. The thing is, this is in the form. This is in the form which makes it very easy. Now we're solving quadratics is our bread and butter. Yeah. So I'm going to make this look like a quadratic. Okay. I know it's to the power of 4. I'm just going to make it look like a quadratic. So instead of having x to the 4, I'm not going to use x. I'm going to use p. I don't want to discriminate for x's all the time. I'm going to call this p squared minus 9p minus 22, two fat ducks, the bingo fans out there, is equal to 0, okay? Now, all I've done here, the numbers, minus 9, minus 22 is exactly the same. I've just changed, instead of x to the 4, I've changed it to x squared. And I'll tell you why I could do that. Now, if I was solving this equation for p, this is a piece of cake. If I get my double brackets there, because factorising is always the quickest way. I could use the formula. I think, considering that this is going to factorise, I should know it's going to factorise, so I picked the question. It's going to be embarrassing if it doesn't now. So, two numbers, multiply to minus 22, add to minus 9. Now, minus 22 is 11, 2. So I'm thinking, right, so minus x, yes, there we go. P minus 11. And P plus 2. Okay, right. Now, if we were solving this, this is easy now. We've done the hard work. P has got to be 11 there. And P has got to be minus 2. Right, now if that was the question, P squared minus 9P minus 22 is equal to 0. Done. They're not going to give you one that easy, unfortunately. We've got this x to the power of 4. Now, how do we do this? We know what P is. We want to find out what x is. Now, the clue is to look at this middle term. I'm going to highlight these. Okay. Right. What we're saying here is that this P is the same as x squared in our original one. We've disguised this x squared by calling it P. Okay, this is all this equation at the top there. We said, okay, it looks a little bit like a quadratic, so it's a quadratic in disguise basically, and I've changed it to that. So what it is basically my x squared is equal to P. Okay, now I've got a bit of rearranging the formula here. Let's say we want to know what x is. At the minute we got x squared, so we have to do the same to both sides. So we're going to have to take the square root of both sides. So x has to be equal to, now remember, when we take the square root, we get a plus and a minus. Okay, so plus or minus the square root p. Brilliant. Right, now let's have a look at this one. P is 11. Okay, so that means that x has to be equal to plus or minus the square root of 11. Okay, which is going to be approximately plus or minus, where 11 is going to be between, square root of 11 is going to be between 3 and 4 somewhere, closer to 3. Use a calculator. Rather than guess, use the old calculator. You don't get this for the exam, but just to give you an idea of what it is. So 11 square root. Where is it? There it is. 3.3. I was going to go for 3.3. Instead, didn't use the force. Okay, so x is either the positive square root of 11 or minus the square root of 11. Also, remember that p is minus 2. So that means x is equal to plus or minus square root of minus 2. Now, we've got two options here. We could, if we were, because we've got minus 2, square root of minus number. Now, whatever you do, don't just suddenly slyly rub it out. Oh, I've rubbed out the whole blinking thing there. Don't rub it all out. Don't rub that minus sign out and pretend it wasn't there. The examiners will notice, okay? Square root of minus 2, this means you can't do it, so there's no... I could type that because I'm thinking differently. So there we go. No real solutions. Okay? So the answers are plus or minus square root of 11. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the answer there. Now, so step-by-step guide, really, get it equal, any equation, get it equal to 0. Just how we did before, okay? Now, if you've got three terms, a number at the end, and two bits there, you've got to be thinking, right, I reckon this could be a quadratic in disguise, okay? So I'm going to write it as a quadratic. You could use letter P, R, T. You could use a monkey if you want to. Wait a second. There he is. Whatever you do, just make sure that you can solve that quadratics, which is using by factorising, and then to get the marks, and people forget this, is to convert. We don't want P, we don't give the monkeys what P is. Said it again. We want to know what the solutions are to the original equation. That means that you have to substitute it back in P to find out what X is, okay, to get your plus or minus 3.3. Right, I think that's covered everything from that assignment. Good luck, and if you still need, if this video hasn't helped you, which I'm under no illusions that it will, please come and see me and I can help you in more thoroughly. Okay, thank you.